This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Good evening, Jason. How are you
Hey,
doing?
John. Yeah, it's like I'm doing fine. It's like yourself?
Not bad. Just swinging through the summer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's like I'm just like it's getting to the point where now I'm actually anticipating Comic-Con. It's like it's a week away, and I still need to get through my list of stuff I need to find in the half-off bins. So.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Half-off bins.
Yeah. I mean that's like I said before. I mean a lot of people go to Comic-Con these days just to find out about all the newest movies and TV shows. But no, it's like I still go there to actually buy comics.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like,
check that out. You're actually going for the reason Comic-Con was created. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I keep hearing how like, oh, it was so much better in years past. I mean, this is still like the best time of the year for me to go and buy stuff. It's like it's Christmas in July. That's what I'll say.
Absolutely. What do you have for us tonight? Speaking of which.
Well, it's like as Comic-Con will be getting into full swing, Marvel's latest movie will be premiering, and I talk, of course, of Captain America. Now, I've seen the trailers for this, and you know what? I am interested. I mean, it looks like a good relatively faithful adaptation of Captain America's origin during World War II. I mean, it just looks like it's got a nice retro feel, like showing like Steve Rogers. Being scrawny Steve Rogers, or I guess Chris Evans, like using Benjamin Button technology as in a 90-pound weakling's body, and it looks fun, like a nice retro period adventure, and I am looking forward to seeing Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull, because I mean the guy's got his own acting style, and I think it's gonna be perfectly suited for the Red Skull. I mean, so John, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. That might be the film's saving grace, to be honest with you. Not the actor itself, but where it's how it's set. Because is this going to be set in World War II?
Yeah, it's set in World War II. I mean, it's going to show you.
That's where his origin is from, anyway, right?
Yes. I mean, it's like they originally said him. They said it's going to be a period piece in the beginning. Yeah, and because even though it's like that's how it's set up. I know it's going to end with Captain America, being cased in ice so that he can be thawed out for the Avengers next summer.
Yep. Well, that might be... you know what? Just speaking on the previous Marvel film that I saw, the X-Men First Class, I enjoyed what they did with, the whole going back and showing, their involvement in the Bay of Pigs, I believe.
Yes.
And that was fairly entertaining. Why? Because it was easy to relate to, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, like, even though it's like the thing is like, I mean, that was Marvel Studios by way of Fox, because I mean, like, Fox apparently has rights to all the X-Men stuff as well as Fantastic Four, and Marvel. I don't know, like Marvel Studios proper. I mean, like how they're being released through Disney and Paramount.
Correct.
I mean, they're the ones who've got all the rights to all the Avengers stuff. So I mean, but still, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably be seeing it during Comic-Con, but I will definitely be seeing it first chance I get afterwards. Still, though, it's like, I mean, Captain America though has got a long legacy of comics, like back from his days in World War II as a superhero, like designed, like built for the very reason of fighting and kicking Hitler's ass. I mean, his very first appearance has him like punching out Hitler on the cover. Like on the cover. I mean, that's what he was made for. And even though he ultimately wasn't able to do that, he still made like a great career showing us like what the American ideal should be. Just being courageous, better, smarter, and stronger than the guy next to you, and always standing up for the right thing. I mean, that may seem kind of cheesy in some regards, but a lot of writers over the years have actually gotten a lot of good mileage out of it. Now, I ordered a bunch of comics for this purpose of researching Captain America's comics roots, and it's like I still need to get through the 500 pages or so of the first Essential Captain America volume, which basically chronicles his thought out adventures post Avengers by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and I read through the first story, and it was just interesting. And note that basically Captain America is put on monitor duty at the Avengers Mansion, and then some guys show up some thugs show up and say, hey, he's just Captain America. We can just go. He's just like a glorified acrobat. We can just go and beat him up we can beat him up real quick. So they beat up Jarvis. They threaten Captain America. But, Captain America being stronger and faster than these guys, he eventually gets a drop on them and cleans their clocks. He's that badass. But I don't know, the interesting thing that stuck with me with this is that apparently, like, in his earliest adventures, Captain, he just had instead of it just being being the crack shot with his shield, throwing it at some guy and just having it ricochet across all these guys' heads, he had actually a magnetized shield, so he could just repel it and attract it at will, which is interesting. But I gotta give credit to whoever decided to give him show him how he has the mad skills himself to get the shield where he wanted to go. Chances are, once I get around to finishing this, I might explain why. But still, one of the writers who's been most associated with Captain America is the late Mark Gruenwald. The man wrote Captain America for over 8 years. It's in the 80s and onto the early 90s, and he produced a lot of great stories by most accounts. One of them, though, is reprinted in a trade paperback called The Captain. Now, the story represents an epic, real landmark story in Captain America's career, where prior at the time, there's a commission in the Marvel Universe called the Commission on Superhuman Activities, and they decided, hey, you know what? Captain America, he was created as a government operative, using government funds on government time. He should be answerable to the government. We're going to so they basically call him in front of them and say, okay, you need to answer to us now for whatever you do, or else it's we're just going to hit you with all sorts of red tape, including the threat of back taxes. God knows no weakness no weakness like back taxes. So what does Steve Rogers do? It's ultimately he realizes that I can't really live up to the American ideal by when I'm hamstrung by all these by the government's demands. I can't. And so he ultimately resigns as Captain America. So I thought it was an interesting gutsy move right there at the beginning, and then he's eventually replaced by a guy named John Walker, who was a superhero previously known as Super Patriot, who fought Captain America once, fought once to a draw, and they figured hey, he's a good old Southern boy. He's a patriot who just saved the Washington Monument from being blown up by a nuclear device. So we can go ahead and have him take care of things. Well, you see, it's as strong as Mr. Walker is, he's not up to the mental demands of being Captain America. It's his identity is eventually spoiled and revealed to the public. He has to and he also has to fight various groups like the Watchdogs who want to protect America from the filth and disease of corruption and porn and stuff like that. And he kind of ultimately agrees with this kind of stuff. He also take them down on because that's what he's been ordered to do. I mean, it's an interesting. I like the way that they set him up as a successor. You know he's going to fail in some way, but his eventual undoing and unwinding, he just goes off the deep end after his parents are killed, and it's interesting to observe. But the thing is, while the story had a lot of interesting elements, it also has a lot of silliness as well. I mean, you've got as Walker is taking over Captain America, Steve Rogers assumes a new identity, that of the Captain. And so, because he's still a super soldier, he's still got all the superpowers, and he wants to use his powers to do what's right. And these adventures also include fighting against a hippie who can control nature called Brother Nature, taking part in the Fall of Mutants crossover by fighting against the Horsemen of Apocalypse known as Famine, taking out a stalemate between the Serpent Society in Las Vegas, and also following the Society's plot to turn President Reagan and the rest of Washington D.C. into snake people. So I mean, some of the stuff. I mean, yeah, it was the '80s. this is the kind of stuff. I mean, this is back when like the comics are still kind of aimed towards like kids. So I mean, like, when you see like Captain America realizing that, oh my God, President Reagan, he's turned into a snake person, but he's sweating. His body's trying to fight off the infection. It's like, come on, Reagan, I have to keep fighting with you in order to get you to sweat out the serum. It's like you're kind of like thinking like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know this is the '80s, but still, this is ridiculous. And ultimately, ultimately he becomes Captain America again. But the thing is, it's the whole initial purpose of him resigning as Captain America, like under the after being faced with the Commission on Superhuman Activities demands, it's undercut when you realize that this was actually an evil plan by one of his oldest enemies. I mean, like his decision to resign in the face of like government interference is undercut. I mean, instead of being like a bold statement about what it takes to represent the American ideal in the face of increased scrutiny, it just comes like your average the Red Skull's at his old tricks again. So ultimately it's like paperback. It's like it's thick, it's huge, but good value for over almost 20 issues for $40. Good deal these days. And it also contains like the tie-in issue to Iron Man's Armor Wars, which I talked about last year in my Iron Man podcast. And it's interesting to see to note the comparisons between the two, because that collection basically had Iron Man, putting his whole, ruining his entire life and professional superhero connections. This one, you start off with Great Departure, and then the status quo was restored at the end. With the Armor Wars, by the end of that volume, I mean, Iron Man, he's still screwed professionally. So I mean, he's eventually going to get back again, but still, I think it at least makes for a stronger collection when you think about it still gives the illusion of change right here, which the Captain, an entertaining time capsule ultimately doesn't. Now, I also picked up another collection of Grunwald's work, this called The Bloodstone Hunt, which basically has Captain America getting his Indiana Jones on by competing with Baron Zemo to find the 5 pieces of the Bloodstone, once worn by the monster hunter Ulysses Bloodstone, and he basically gets sent all over the world from South America to Egypt, to Madripoor, all sorts of fun places. I mean, it's a good action adventure story, even though you get the kind of feeling that it's like Captain America is Indiana Jones. It doesn't quite seem right. I mean, he makes for a good capable action adventure hero, but it still feels kind of odd. Even though the last 2 issues, which basically have featured the introduction of longtime Cap villain Crossbones, as he tangles with Cap in Madripoor for the fate of Diamondback. Those are pretty entertaining. I mean, it's the same thing. It's kind of a nice little time capsule, but not something I probably would have bought otherwise had I not been preparing for this podcast. Now, one thing I have had for years though is Operation Rebirth by Mark Waid and Ron Garney. Now, I started reading comics back in the mid to late 90s, and at the time, one of the things that Wizard Magazine was going nuts about was Mark Waid's run on Captain America. Apparently Grunwald's run had been getting kind of old towards the end when he basically had super soldier serum in Cap's veins, killing him. Waid came on board right afterwards, and then apparently brought Captain America back to the forefront of superhero activity. I mean, this story has him basically has him being revived from near death. Features the return of his longtime partner Sharon Carter. It's like she was thought dead, but now she's not. And then, shock of all shockers, it turns out that the complete blood transfusion that Captain America received in order to survive came from the Red Skull himself. So, but the thing is, they all have to work together, because it turns out that that a secret society of neo-Nazis has apparently got their hands on a version of the cosmic cube that has that where Hitler's consciousness has been transferred into. So once they get this cube powered up, Hitler's consciousness is going to rewrite the world to fulfill his Aryan power dreams. This arc has this standard like over the top verbosity that all Marvel comics had in the 90s, but still, it's Wade talks about in his introduction how Captain America thrives on impossible odds, and he just does a good job of showing him what Captain America can do when faced with the resurrection of Hitler and working with his most hated enemy. It's a fun, entertaining story, and rereading it again, it holds up pretty well, especially the final issue where Captain has to team up with Bucky in order to stop Hitler. It's a nice twist, and it also foreshadows Bucky's eventual return, which I'll get to in a second. I really enjoyed it. I mean, the thing is though that since I originally bought this volume, it's been reprinted in both hardcover and softcover editions with Mark Waid's entire pre Heroes Reborn run, which I would recommend picking up. I mean, to be honest, I'm probably going to see if I can pick up this edition at Comic-Con this year, because this version I've got only has 4 issues. This one they've got softcover and hardcover they've got now have all 8 or 9. So I'd recommend checking that out, since I've heard that the subsequent story where Captain America is declared a traitor to the United States in Man Without a Country. That I've heard is supposed to be just as good as this one. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I'll eventually pick it up. But for years I was you've got then the Heroes Reborn era, which had Rob Liefeld writing. I mean, not writing and drawing, and less about that the better. Then Wade came back, and while I read an interesting article yesterday on Comic Book Resources, apparently the reason Wade's pre Heroes Reborn run was so good is because no one was paying attention to it. I mean, he didn't have to answer to Marvel editorial on anything. Then when he came back, man was put under the fucking microscope. So, and he said that a lot of his stuff was still holds up pretty well. He also notes that the most infamous part of his return, when he talks about the origin of the Red Skull, was censored at the last minute by Marvel, and it's only now getting a full reprint. So, but dude, just reading the article about that, I mean, just to have to. I mean, it's not that he tried to sneak anything by them. He was he and artist Andy Kubert were upfront with Marvel about their plans to talk about the Red Skull's origin in the most harsh terms, all the way. But then at the very end, when Wade had left for the weekend, confident the story is going to go to press as is, he comes back on Monday and finds out, okay, yeah, someone at marketing had got scared at the last second, so it's going out censored. So, do you want to take your name off it? Wade said yes, and it's now only getting it's due in a upcoming hardcover called Red Glare. I haven't read it, but just hearing just the appeal of getting a story that was originally bowdlerized in its uncut form does have a certain appeal to me. Now that being said, I didn't read Captain America for years. I've heard mixed to bad things about Dan Jurgens' run, who took over Captain America after Wade, and as well as the post 9/11 pseudo serious run by John Ney-Reber, which was absolutely excoriated by Paul O'Brien in the X-Axis when it came out, and then it just kind of just kind of went on for a little while under various authors, and then post Avengers Assembled, it was picked up by Ed Brubaker. And as you know, if you've been listening to me talk to ramble and write for any amount of time, I love Ed Brubaker. So when you find out that he's going to do it, he's going to take over Captain America, it's going to be something worth reading. And God knows that that man absolutely delivered. I mean, like, not just from like the whole death of Captain America hoo-ha to also the revelation that Bucky was still alive and also a Soviet Black Ops commando all this time, and also just like how he like skillfully maneuvered Bucky into being Captain America in a really natural, believable way. Now, you also know that I believe that that Ed Brubaker's noir instincts have kind of like gotten the series off the rails in this last volume, No Escape, because as much as I love Brubaker and I love how his noir influences, he doesn't. The more the more I read his run on Captain America, the more I start to feel like I just love to see once where Captain America, either Steve Rogers or Bucky, just beats the bad guys, by being smarter or more clever than them, rather than just having the bad guys just like having their teamwork fall apart at the very last second. So I mean that's my issue with No Escape. But then I went back and reread Winter Soldier for this, and even though it's like I still think that I still feel like my complaints are valid here, but still looking at 2 volumes of Winter Soldier available as one as a nice hardcover, softcover edition, I hope. It's still a great little espionage story as Captain America maneuvers the post Avengers Assembled world, where he's basically working with Nick Fury and Sharon Carter to stave off not the Red Skull's terrorism, because the Red Skull, he's killed in the first episode. He left this just giant gaping bullet hole in his chest, and so he's dead. But it's a nice touch how none of the characters actually believe that he's dead at first, because he's going to come back eventually, and true to form he does. But Brubaker sets up a good noir influenced story about how Captain America's memories are slowly betraying him, and eventually and also just retconning the history as well in a decent way. I mean, I like the revelation that Bucky is actually the top secret Soviet Black Ops legend, the Winter Soldier. I mean, damn. I mean, it's scary. But it also avoids the pitfalls of just being, oh, hey, I'm Bucky, I'm back, I'm all right, Captain, let's go and be partners again. It sets up a great, interesting story, storyline for Brubaker to mine, as well as just given the continuing the great Marvel tradition of having heroes who have flaws. I mean, while Bucky, and he's certainly a hero, who wants to be a hero. He does just as the Captain America legend. He still got that whole I was a killer for the Soviets for years, backstory. And looks like that's going to be addressed in the next volume. The trial of Captain America. So I'm looking forward to that. I do recommend picking up pretty much all of Brubaker's run, though. If you're looking to a nice closed arc, just pick up everything he's done up to Captain America Reborn, which is a nice, like I said, it's just that'll be a good contained story right there. And you can keep going, though. I do express reservations about Bucky's apparent death in the current Fear Itself crossover, because with Fear Itself, I mean, it's the thing is, we understand that you got to have a big superhero death in this, but just to have Bucky killed off like that, and it's I'm not buying it, man. That doesn't seem like a real hero's death, or just the real ultimate direction that Brubaker had in mind. Because at the end of Reborn, Steve has the feeling that that if Bucky doesn't keep wearing doesn't continue being Captain America, he's eventually going to die. So I don't know if it's. I have a feeling we're leading to a nice bit of misdirection where Bucky's going to be revealed as he's going to be brought back to life before the end of the series, possibly as one of the mighty, whose identities have yet to be revealed in the crossover. But I hope that Fear Itself doesn't mark the end of Bucky's career as Captain America, because I think there's still miles there, even with Brubaker's even with the misfire that was No Escape. So, like I said, there's plenty of good Captain America stories out there. Most of them written by Ed Brubaker. like with ones by Wade and M.R. Grunwald providing good historical time capsule value. Grunwald's more than Wade's. So like I said, I certainly hope the movie is good. It's like, and God knows I know they're already playing the sequel, which it's interesting because like John, you know they've already got a great launching pad for this Captain America sequel to Captain America, because after he's thawed out in Avengers, I mean they're gonna have sequel's gonna be all about Captain America getting reacquainted with the modern world,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he's just going to be going around what is this strange, what happened to records? What is this strange medium you call digital? So
CDs? What's that?
yeah, it's like iTunes, Apple. Apple was a fruit, and now it's a company that's taking over the world. So yeah, I'm looking I think Captain America's got a good future that like I said, I just pray to God that it doesn't turn out like Green Lantern, but it's Thor. If Thor is going to be like a good baseline for the quality of all the other Avengers movies that are going to be coming out, then I like to think we're going to be in good hands.
Yeah.
Okay, and on that note, going to call it a night. So everyone, it's have a great time at Comic-Con. If you see a guy with glasses and a Blade of the Immortal shirt on the day of the Dark Horse panel, then I can promise you that's going to be me. So have a great time. Enjoy the Captain America movie, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with something. So I'm sure that there's going to be something to talk about in 2 weeks, especially after all the crap I get from Comic-Con.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Laters.
Take it easy. Bye.